Hi everybody, Miss Roberts here for our new story, book number 31, Warriors in the Winter. Ooh, don't mind me being so close to the camera. I'm just turning on an extra light so that you can see me a little bit better. As I twist and twist and twist it. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Okay, so we are reading book 31, Warriors in the Winter. Chapter 1, Prologue. One summer day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious treehouse appeared in the woods. It was filled with books. A boy named Jack and his sister Annie found the treehouse and soon discovered that it was magic. They could go anywhere in time or place in history just by pointing to a picture in one of the books. While they were gone, no time at all had passed in Frog Creek. Jack and Annie eventually found out that the treehouse belonged to Morgan Le Fay, a magical librarian from the legendary realm of Camelot. Since then, they have traveled on many adventures in the magic treehouse and completed many missions for Morgan. On their journeys to New York, Texas, Jack and Annie learned great wisdom from two heroes of recent past. Now they're about to journey far back in time to learn from a third hero. Chapter 1, Way of the Eagle. Wake up, Jack! Jack opened his eyes. The light was dim outside his window. His sister Annie was standing by his bed. What's going on? He asked. I heard a weird sound outside, said Annie. And guess what I saw? What? Said Jack. An eagle, said Annie. A huge eagle. It was sitting on top of the lamppost in our yard. No way, said Jack. Yes way, said Annie. I'll bet Morgan sent him. Jack sat up in bed and threw off his covers. I'm coming, he said. Hurry, we have to get back home before Mom and Dad get up. Meet you on the porch. Annie slipped out of the room. Jack climbed out of bed. He changed into jeans, a sweatshirt, and sneakers. He grabbed his backpack, then he crept downstairs and went to the front porch. Annie was waiting in the chilly, damp air. Dawn was breaking. There, she whispered. She pointed toward the lamppost in front of their house. An eagle was perched on top. He was dark brown except for the ring of golden brown feathers around his neck. He stared at them with piercing eyes. Oh, man, that's a golden eagle, whispered Jack. The eagle spread his wings. He rose into the early morning sky and flew towards the woods. Follow him, said Jack. Jack and Annie ran down the porch steps. They crossed their yard and dashed down the sidewalk after the eagle. There, said Annie, looking up. She pointed to the bird gliding above the Frog Creek woods. Jack and Annie crossed the street. They hurried between the shadowy lights until they came to the tallest oak. Whoa, said Jack. The eagle head was perched on the roof of the magic treehouse. Yay, said Annie. You were right, said Jack. They climbed the rope ladder and into the treehouse. Sunlight streamed onto the floor. It shined on two small wooden tablets. Next to the tablets was a scroll. A message from Morgan, said Annie. She unrolled the scroll and read, Land by the Danube many years ago. Find a Roman legion camp dusted with snow. A Roman legion camp, said Jack. Really? What's a legion? Said Annie. A legion is a unit in the ancient Roman army, said Jack. A legion had almost 6,000 warriors. The whole army had around 150,000 warriors. And, okay, I got it, said Annie. And what's a Danube? It's a river that ran along the border of the Roman Empire, said Jack. That was almost 2,000 years ago. How do you know all this, said Annie. My school project on the Roman army, said Jack. Remember the model of the camp I made? And I had to explain it to my class. Oh, yeah, I remember, said Annie. Rome had the best warriors in the world, said Jack. They defended the Roman Empire for over 500 years. Great, got it, said Annie. There's more here from Morgan. She read the scroll again. You must each keep a journal. Use tablets of wax. With a pen called a stylist, write down the facts. So that's what this is, said Jack. He grabbed one of the wooden tablets. In ancient times, people wrote on these. See the wooden covering the wax? He picked up his pointed reed. And here's the stylist. It's like a pen with no ink. Hold on, said Annie. Listen to this. Write what you see. Write what you feel. Do what warriors do to make your words real. How do we do what warriors do? Jack said. Roman warriors were the toughest guys on the planet. They had years of training. Maybe Morgan sent us something to give us magic skills, said Annie. Like the baseball caps we wore to be Major League Bat Boys. They looked at the shadowy corners of the treehouse. Jack saw only the Pennsylvania book that would bring them home. Nothing here, he said. Morgan didn't even send a research book to help us. Don't worry. You know a lot from your project, said Annie. Not enough, said Jack. Well, maybe Morgan wants us to learn on our own, said Annie. Last verse. Give the silver coin to the hero in disguise. He will share with you his wisdom. Be home by moonrise. What silver coin, said Annie. They looked around the treehouse again. Jack spied a black coin on the floor. It was about the size of a quarter. Maybe this, he said, picking it up. It doesn't look like silver, said Annie. Silver turns dark over time, said Jack. You have to polish it. Okay, we can do that later. Let's go now, said Annie. How, said Jack. There's no research book to take us in the first place. Said Annie. I have an idea. I'll just point at Morgan's words. She touched the rhyme. I wish we could go to the Roman legion camp on the Danube. A cry from the eagle pierced the air. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 2. Rider on a Black Horse. The air was cold and bright. Brr, it feels like winter, said Annie. Yes, said Jack, shivering. He could see his breath in the frosty air. We're wearing Roman clothes. Too bad they're not warmer. Jack and Annie both wore wool capes with tunics and boots. Instead of a backpack, Jack had a leather pouch attached to his belt. Annie had a belt and a pouch, too. Hey, I'm dressed like a boy, she said. This should be fun. They looked out the window. Snow covered the ground. Sunlight sparkled on the frozen river. That must be the Danube, said Jack. An eagle cried out. Annie leaned out of the window and looked at the light to the right. Our eagle, she said. And that must be our Roman camp. Jack leaned out the window too. He saw the eagle gliding down toward a cluster of buildings surrounded by a high wooden fence. Oh man, it looks like my model, said Jack. Yep, and it's dusted with snow, just like in Morgan's rhyme, said Annie. Let's go. Jack and Annie put their tablets and pens in their leather pouches. Jack dropped the coin into his pouch, too. Then they climbed down the rope ladder. The sunlight on the snow was blindingly bright, but the air was bitter cold. Jack pulled his cape closer. The thick wool was warm and scratchy. Before we go any further, maybe we should write something in our journals, he said. Good idea, said Annie. They pulled out their writing tools. Watch, said Jack. He pressed the pointed reed into the wax and wrote a W. Got it, said Annie. But he should write small so he can fit everything in. Jack wrote winter. Then he looked at Annie, writing her own notes. What are you writing? He asked. Rider on a black horse, she said. Where? Jack said, looking around. Against the sun, said Annie. Jack shielded his eyes and looking at the bright horizon. A rider on a black horse was trotting over the frozen ground between the river and the camp. He wore a helmet and a red cape. Oh no, thought Jack. Should we climb back into the treehouse? Hi, Annie called, waving. The rider raised his hand in greeting. He trotted over to them. His face was mostly hidden by his helmet. Hail, children. Are you lost? He asked. Jack was relieved. The man's voice was friendly. Not lost, said Annie. Actually, we want to visit the army camp. Have you family there? Asked the warrior. No, we just want to learn more about the Roman legion, said Jack. We're keeping journals, said Annie. She held up her tablet and stylus. Indeed, said the man. You are the first children I have met who keep journals. We plan to write what we see and what we feel, said Annie. Ah, young visiting scholars, said the rider. Have you questions for me? Yes, said Jack. Why is an army camped here? Legion Gemina 14 is camped on the Legion Gemina 14 is camped on the Danube to protect Rome's northern borders, said the rider, to keep invaders from crossing the river. Who are the invaders? Asked Annie. Anyone who wants to take away our freedom, said the rider, and destroy the Roman way of life. Do you know how we get inside the camp? Said Jack. Give the guard the password of the day, the rider said, Mars the victor. Like Mars the planet? asked Annie. No, like Mars, the Roman god of war, Jack said. Oh, who's the Roman god of peace? Asked Annie. Pax, the goddess of peace, said the rider. His horse pawed the ground. Pax, I like that, said Annie. Tell the guard you plan to report on the Legion's hard work, said the rider. Say you are visiting scholars under the command of the Imperial Guard. Visiting scholars under the command of the Imperial Guard, Jack repeated slowly. Got it. That sounds really official, he thought. The rider squinted at the rising sun. I must return to my station now, he said. Farewell, friends. The rider turned his horse and galloped towards the camp. Jack and Annie watched him and passed through the gateway. Let's go, said Jack, and they started walking toward the gate. He was so nice, said Annie. Do you think he was an important officer in the Legion? No way, said Jack. He was just an ordinary army guy. He didn't have a plume on his helmet, and he didn't wear armor covered with medals, like the Centurion. Be glad he wasn't the Centurion. Why? What's the Centurion? Asked Annie. Super strict commander, said Jack. They carry big sticks to whack their own men. That's mean, said Annie. They should learn to use their words instead. Jack laughed. Try telling that to a Centurion. As they drew close to the camp, a guard stepped out of the gatehouse. He wore full battle armor. He was carrying a spear and a red shield. Hail, said Annie. Word of the day, the guard said in a deep voice. Mars the victor, Annie answered. Jack cleared his throat and called out, We are visiting scholars under the command of the Imperial Guard. We have come to write about the camp, said Annie. She held up the tablet and the stylus. We plan to spread the word about the Legion's hard work. The watchman lowered the spear. Welcome to Legion Gemina. I think it's Gemina. 14. He said, in the region of the Emperor Marcus. It's a name that's difficult. In the region of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. We're going with Aurelius. Thank you, said Annie. She and Jack walked proudly past the guard. They passed through the gateway and entered the Roman camp. And we will read chapters 3 and 4. Today I'm playing a little bit. It's almost like a game, but it's really just a way to make sure that I spend all my time reading with you and I get my chores done. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to do my laundry. And then I'm going to come back and read chapters 3 and 4. And then I have a bunch of other chores. I'll let you know what I'm doing next. It's kind of an exciting game, just so you know what Mrs. Roberts' life is like. It's so exciting. Laundry. What else can I do? But anyway, I hope you are having a wonderful Thursday. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.